G'day and welcome back to Brian's Backyard. This week we've got some unwanted visitors. We're going to get some seedlings out into the veggie beds, say g'day to our new neighbours and chill out in the backyard. Last week we saw the plum tree that had been having its leaves munched off by a midnight visitor. Well, I got up before sparrows and look who I find walking along the fence line. Geez, this is a bit of a pickle. I've never had these guys visit and they lay waste to veggie gardens and fruit trees. So I'm going to bring forward the netting so we can protect our fruit trees before they get through it all. So I've gotten this new netting that meets the current legislation. They've just made a change to it. It means that basically the older stuff that you've probably been using isn't legal anymore. Now, I'll be honest, wasn't too comfortable with all the extra landfill that's going to create, but to do the right thing, I've gotten the new type. It's got smaller openings and it's supposed to be better for the birds. So I suppose that's a great thing. Tell you what, I'm pretty pleased with this new type. I've gone for the black one this time. It looks great. And I reckon we're on to a good start for the season. Let's jump over to the veggie patch where Paige and I are going to get some seedlings in. Before we do that though, you got to remember, if you're going to net your fruit trees, don't do it while they've still got flowers. The bees have still got work to do and they can't do it if you've netted it. So that's the top tip for this week. Hey, one more thing before we go off to see Paige. I just realized there was a lot of bees in the backyard, and check this out. So the neighbour on our right has a big beehive up in an old tree, and I just noticed that some of the tree is broken off and the bees are split apart. And now it looks like we're going to have two nests. I hope these guys are going to be okay. How beautiful are they? Hey Paige, we've grown all of these little plants up from tiny little seeds, and it's time for them to go into the garden.
Yippee!
All right, let's go.
You mean let's grow?
You're funny. All right, let's grow. To get these little tackers into the garden, we need a few things. A notepad to write down where they've gone, a cool little hoe, pair of snips, a little spade, some slow release fertilizer, and some potash to give the flowers a bit of a kick along, a watering can to water them in, some eggshells to chase off the snails, and this year we're going to give this drill a go just to speed up the planting. All right, let's get to it. Okay, well, it's time to put the first plant of the season in. Hey Paige, what do you think we need to do?
I'm expecting maybe moving the hair out of the way and then digging some little holes and then popping the plants in.
Perfect summary. You know, sounds like you've been doing this for a long time. Actually, come to think of it. How cool is that? I reckon you must have been 3.
Yep.
All right, well, let's get this one in. Come on, pull that hay back. Keep going. There we go. All right, let's give him a bit of a shovel in. Oh, there we go.
Move back. Okay.
Can you grab a little handful of that?
Black, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Sprinkle it in. Bit of organic slow release fertilizer. In you go, little pumpkin. Important thing with putting a pumpkin in is you can't bury it any deeper than it was in the pot that it came from. That's the same rule for every plant except for tomatoes. Tomatoes, you bury them up to their knees. All right, can you please get me the cover page?
Sure thing. Is this the thing you want?
Yes, thank you. And some sticks.
3 sticks. How many sticks?
3, please.
1,
1,
2,
2,
3.
and 3.
So now you have a little shelter, little guy.
That's right. And,
Eggshells for the snails.
yep, between the
Are
little,
we gonna crack them up?
yep, and between the little
Yeah.
fence and these eggshells, we're not going to have any trouble from snails. Well, that's one in. We've got a lot to go. Hey, Paige, why don't we use the power of technology to get them all in straight away?
Yeah!
Let's do it.
Yay!
Paige. They went in so fast. All right, the most important thing left to do though is to give them a big soak with some seaweed emulsion to help them with that transplant shock. How good was that? We're gonna whack some tromboncinos in this bed so they can climb up the frame. How's that? Perfect. Reckon we'll get some zucchinis probably here, here, here and here. You ripper. We're flying along. I reckon these little pumpkins here and here with a bit of a climbing frame. Great. Another one done. Well, I'm done for another week and mixing it up with a glass of white this time. So look, we've given those seedlings a great start, gave them a bit of tucker and sorted out that transplant shock with the seaweed emulsion. The fruit trees, well, hopefully we don't see those possums come back, but I'll tell you what, I suspect we'll see them again. Other than that, next week we're going to get the tomatoes all sorted out. So look, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and be good to yourself and be good to your garden. Cheers. Oh, one last thing. If you're gardening in Melbourne or further south and you're putting your plants in early October, there's always the risk of an extra frost. So this is what happened to me a couple of nights ago. It was a good way of solving the problem. Cheers.